Hey everybody, welcome back to the new week, the new day for the pre-market discussion. Hope you all remember about the level we have been discussed in many occasions through the way of meeting or a report, whatever it may be, highlight even. So the 25,740 and as a whole the 25,700. This level has not been closed in the daily time frame, we can say. So the first time during the Friday session, the Nifty has closed below to that level. That indicates a corrective phase may be onsetting soon, but for that it is awaited for the confirmation. That should be as per our concept. Consecutive close 2 days in a row should be there for any breakout or any breakdown. Predominantly it is having any trend or a direction change means, so that should happen within that 2 days of consecutive actions. If it is closing or if it is trying to trade below consecutively for the total trading days today and closing below to that 25,740 today also happened means, we can see even though if there is any bounce back towards 26,000 or 26,000 or whatever may be, that bounce back, even though it is occurring, we can expect a solid and a meaningful correction in the market, since we have started pronouncing this particular thing about the correction onsetting from the December onwards. Particularly of the second week, we have been keep insisting this particular point of closing below 25,740. If it happens, we can expect a correction that may be onset soon, like half the way the confirmation already witnessed by the Nifty and Sensex. Anyhow, the additional one, as per our concept, it should close below 25,740 to witness any correction what we have been expecting. With a 3 to 5% of correction in the market, we can expect that may be coming around 24,800 to 24,600 levels. That means that as a whole, we want to say the interim range shift zone we have been kept at that time was 24,700. That zone may be tested, but for that and all, the no single clue we are having. For that, we have to see whether it is giving a close below 25,740 today also. And it is not that much easy to directly or in a single stretch moving towards the 3 to 4% of correction. It may not be happen like that. See, the 25,740 once getting broken, 25,365, before that 449, 25,449. These two levels are there to give a cushion for buyers. If the bounce and are happening from the zone, if the bounces and are witnessed on the chart, means you can see the sharp bounces can be expected. Until otherwise, a decisive close below to that level, at least in any larger time frame to till the daily time frame. There may not be a continued or a stretchy selling actions on the markets, and it is tough to continuously moving towards the 25,000 zone like and all. So the step-by-step correction with your bounces that will be attracting selling again. It will try to break down the support zones. What all we are discussing, even now itself we are discussing. No, already many times the levels like 25,449 and 25,365 that was happened during October 1. So that and all should be watched out. So these are all prior to starting today's discussion about the market trend. We have why pitching on it means it is of course a trend change zone we are currently sitting on, and the market also in the cusp of making a clear direction once the bounce or once the close below as discussed now happened. There onwards the clarity towards the trend will be fetched by the benchmark indices like Nifty and the Sensex. So there onwards, one can see the directional move. From the positional perspective, these and all will be working. For the day, the 12th of January 2026, the market's opening may be in a cautious manner with a flat note of points, but which may not be having that much impact on the opening itself because the neutral tendencies what the global indices are having like that. After opening, one should be very closely monitor the levels. That is particularly if it is trying to break above the level of 25,740 or it is trying to sustain above the level of 25,740. If it is sustaining, that should be in a way of larger time frame starting with 1 hour. So these and all happening, there you can get the signal for a clear bounce towards the level of 26,000. For the day itself, 25,900 may be easily breached or easily retested if the 25,740 level is maintained in any larger time frame as discussed. Conversely, if it is could not retest the 25,740 in any larger time frame, that means any 1 hour or 2 hour like the things and all, line time frames and all, not having a close above 25,740 means there you can additionally get a confirmation along with the Friday session of what it already gave about correcting or setting the trend for correction. Because of that internal observation one can have based on the levels and the time frame we are providing, that may be easy to make you are taking a decision on which direction, like you are actually in the way of seeking the direction. You can easily get the direction based on this strategy and based on the levels now discussed. That is particularly in the time frame ways we have discussed how to approach the time frames and the levels along with like we have discussed now. So that can be followed to make your trading decisions wisely. Once the close below 25,740 and it is not retesting to happened in today's trend means one can start building the short positions or otherwise can accumulate short positions on the highs for the target of 25,449, 25,365. Nothing above these levels are being target or being support now. So these levels can be treated as a target for the short sellers. So that's it based on the levels for the day also clearly discussed now. What are the sectors can be expected to be focusing or moving the markets today means particularly it is of course a beginning period of earnings outcome for the quarterly ended December 1. So for that, starting with as usual, the IT techs will be releasing their first numbers. So starting with the that means the Tata Consultancy Services and HCL Technology, the quarterly results session starts now. So because of that, the IT sector will be busy, moving either side. Anyhow, the Friday support should not be get broken. Friday's low should not be get broken. If it is happening, the probability for Tata Consultancy Services and HCL Tech results may be in a dismal way. That may be the signal through the way of IT index breaking Friday's low. That's it. So one can, based on that, build the positions, how the direction IT index is giving. For the stocks, you can select like earnings oriented one discussed now. Automobile, which is actually in a crucial stage, it is having, if the Nifty is holding the Friday support without closing below 25,740, auto will be the first sector will be pitching on to attract the volume in the buyer side and will move up. Will lead the index of Nifty and the Sensex to move up. Otherwise, it will be the cause for the major cause can be expected from the automobile side through the way of a short selling and put buying like. Banking and finance along with the market trend we can expect in the same manner. Anyhow, that is going to be a very crucial if the Nifty is closing today below 2740 level means tomorrow the bank and finance will be started acting on the same direction with a higher impactful manner. Energy side, Reliance, it is holding the key, and if the Reliance could not bounce back to the previous week's high, total week's high, it should attain. Otherwise, because of the Reliance, the market maybe get dragged down. So that also can be watched under the energy sector side. Even BPCL, HPCL may be approached in the way of slow kind of investment with an accumulation basis. So for that, BPCL, HPCL, particularly HPCL may be approached. But for the intraday and all, it won't be worked out. And real estate oriented stocks that are all actually, even though the correction already hardly hit the sectors, because of that behavior it has already witnessed, the correction may be easily attract the real estate oriented stocks if the Nifty confirms. Until then, nothing to be worried. One can follow the previous week's entire low for the real estate oriented stocks. If you are trying to build the long position, that previous week's low can be maintained as support until otherwise it is holding below that level. One can keep focusing on long building on the real estate stocks. Pharmaceuticals, along with some defensive actions and quarterly oriented movements on the stocks, one can expect pharmaceuticals will be busy to dominate in coming sessions about the market's movement. So that can be highly focused, particularly large cap oriented. These are all the sectors one can focus today, along with the stocks Bahar we have listed based on news and based on behavior of the price actions. The Mahindra & Mahindra, Avenue Supermarts, Lemon Tree Hotels, Shriram Finance, IREDA, NTPC, and Indian Energy Exchange. These are all the opportunistic stocks one can watch out for the day. Quarterly earnings include TCS, HCL Technologies, Anand Reddy Wealth, GTPL Hathway Cables, Gujarat Hotels, Lotus Chocolate Company, Maharashtra Scooters. These are all going to announce their December ended quarter results today. Keeping stop loss would be very, very important for all to maintain a well adjusted or a balanced risk reward along with the meaningful gains based on the levels what we have mentioned. No, so for that the stop loss would be very, very essential. Thank you for participating in today's session. We'll meet again tomorrow in the same pre-market outlook session. Wishing everyone to have a prosperous trading day, because there is an opportunity hidden till now if the correction is on.